Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Hey, welcome in. Got you your latest forecast. Primarily dry, quiet weather today and seasonable. It's later for the weekend, timing Saturday afternoon and picking up Saturday night through Sunday, ending sometime Sunday night or Monday morning. I'll be watching for rain, and there will be that potential of some heavy and excessive showers again. I'll be watching again through the second half of the weekend. Still some uncertainty and kind of complicated as I'll be monitoring two separate features, a cold front from the north and an area of low pressure that'll be likely passing southwest of us. Regardless, likely rain around Sunday I'm watching. Today we're dry. You may have had to dodge some of that patchy or widespread fog this morning. Likely dry across the state today. Fly Saber forecast, it starts at home. Atlanta near 91 today. Chicago 81. New York City 77, drying out from some very heavy and some extreme rainfall. It impacted the Northeast. Some areas near and north of New York City had anywhere from 4 to 8+ inches of rain in recent days out there with some slow-moving thunderstorms. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we have highs in the upper 70s to mid-80s today, upper 50s tonight. A little on the cooler side with some patchy fog. Eastern Panhandle, low to mid-80s today. Up in the foothills and the mountains, some low 70s out there. Dry for everybody today. And lows in the 50s and low 60s dry tonight. For our central and northern areas, got 70s and 80s in here. Parkersburg near 83. Elkins near 77. Be mindful of some fog potentially in some areas again overnight. Lows in the 50s to near 60. For our southern areas, we got 70s to the southeast there. Union near 79. To the west, Huntington near 86 with sunshine expected for you today. Dry for the first half of the weekend, Saturday afternoon, chance of showers and storms, likely Sunday ending early Monday. Then chances of rain and thunder middle of next week.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Capital City, with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
A little change of pace for the programming lineup today. We'll still get to Open Line West Virginia after the bottom of the hour at 2:30, but we are going to be joined sometime around that time frame, working with the schedule with the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Capito. He's going to join us on set around 2:40-ish or so, but we'll still get to your calls and texts, too. It is Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
It's a Thursday afternoon. It's Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up. As I said, we're probably, the way the schedule's working out right now, we're going to start with a few calls and texts, and then we'll take a little break, talk to more Capito, and then we'll come back to continue. The phone line is 1-800-765-TALK, or you can text 304-TALK-304. I do need to get to some news. We have this reported at metronews.com. State Division of Highways working to clear at least one lane of State Route 3 in Raleigh County after a massive rock slide took place early this morning. This happened in the community of Sundial at about 2:30 this morning. Apparently, these huge boulders just fell from the hillside into the road. The Department of Highway says that the Alpha Metallurgical Resources Coal Group sent some equipment in to try to break up some of the largest boulders. But again, we have some stories and some photos of that posted at wvmetronews.com. So if you're going to be traveling in that area, this has been going on for some time. I mean, we're going on about 12 hours right now in the community of Sundial, which is in Raleigh County. Just make note of that, and we'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on. Let's welcome in to the show now. Going to go to the area that I know a little something about, Logan County. Talk to Mayor John Fekete of the town of Man. Good afternoon, Mayor. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me, Dave.
Thank you for being here. Big times in Man this weekend. The annual street fair goes on. I was telling the folks about this earlier. For a town the size of Man, what is the rough population of Man proper these days, John?
Roughly 700 people.
Roughly 700 people there, and there are going to be about 7,000, it seems, on the street. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. But there's going to be a whole lot of people on the streets of Man Friday and Saturday night for the street fair, and you've done it for a number of years.
Yeah, this is an annual thing for the town of Man. We typically have 50 or 60 vendors. This year we've got 96 vendors. I mean, we don't know where we're going to put them. But
you're going to have to go. You're going to have to like annex Kistler or annex Mallory or some other one of those other communities there.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. We've got a lot going on. We're going to kick it off tomorrow around 11 o'clock. We just opened up the first two pickleball courts, outdoor pickleball courts in Logan County. And a new basketball court over at the Guyandotte Riverfront Park. So we're going to do a groundbreaking or a ribbon cutting, and then a groundbreaking for the new splash pad that we're going to get started on and hopefully have open by next spring. So, and then after that, we're going to go on through town. I mean, we're really excited down here. I mean, we've got a lot of things going on. We're going to do 3 more ribbon cuttings. We have 3 new businesses popping up into town this week: coffee shop, New Mexican restaurant, and an ATV repair shop. So that's exciting news for us. I mean, even if we wasn't having the street fair, but to kick the street fair off with the ribbon cuttings and to see the people start rolling in, we're hoping to pack out the town.
Well, and I want to mention that ATV repair shop because people outside the area may not realize what a big deal the Hatfield-McCoy Trail is in that part of the state, and to have an ATV repair shop there, that's much needed, and you know about the Hatfield-McCoy Trail, so I mean that's a much needed business there in the town.
Yes, it'll bring people to town. It's going to put people on the streets. It's going to be something that the trail riders will really appreciate because they're driving 4, 5, 6 hours to get here, and when they break down, they can't find a part. I mean, they're down. So this is going to be really good for the town, just to get people into the town spending their money.
And I don't know when we've talked to anybody in a town of 700 people that said they opened up 3 businesses or at least cut the ribbon on 3 businesses in one day. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we're excited about it. I mean, we're proud of it. We're turning into a tourist community. We're seeing thousands of ATV riders coming into town. Hatfield-McCoy sold 93,000 trail passes last year, and 80% of those were out-of-state residents. So we've got new people. It's real tourism. It's real economic development, and we're excited. The town of Man certainly embraces the trail riders to come on into town and eat some Mexican food and get your ATV fixed.
And have some coffee at the coffee shop, too.
That's right.
Now, did I see this for people that are familiar with the town? I think the Mexican restaurant was going on Main Street where Gino's used to be. Is that right?
Correct. The old Gino's building.
And what about the coffee shop? Where is it?
It'll be just up the street. We've got Dunk's Body Shop, the weight room there. They've got a little section to the side, set aside just for the coffee shop. Mm-hmm. So it'll be just up the street, right almost across from Man Clothing.
Okay. All right. So other than cutting the ribbon, take us through the schedule of events tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow, all day, from noon until 9, we'll have the bouncy houses, the water slides, the trampoline, things for the kids, the Peaches the Clown. We've got tons of food vendors coming in, all sorts of different craft vendors. Around 5 o'clock, we're going to do an egg race for the kids. That's where they put an egg on the spoon and they race. That should be exciting. We're going to do a bike race for the kids following that. And then later on that evening, you're going to get the meet and greet Carlito, the wrestler. So he's coming to the town of Man.
That's kind of a big deal. I mean, I'm not the wrestling guy that I used to be, but I mean, I know who Carlito Colon is. Yeah. His father was a legend in the world, the late Carlos Colon, and of course he was a big star. Carlito was in WWE, probably known for he's the one that I think that takes a bite out of an apple every so often and spits it, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of his thing.
Yeah, I wasn't too familiar with him, but everyone I talked to is like, "Oh man, I can't believe Carlito's coming to the town of Man." So that's pretty exciting. We'll have a pet show at 6 o'clock. And then also from 6 to 9, we'll have the Soundtastics. We always like to get them down here. That's a really good thing for the kids. They're really interactive. A lot of dancing, a lot of music with the kids. And then 7 o'clock, Carlito will be in the ring. So we'll have some wrestling at 7 o'clock, and that'll wrap up Friday.
And when you do your wrestling event, I mean, it's right there on the street. I mean, that's where it is. At least it's where it was when I was there. It was like on what we call the back street. Is that still where it is?
We're being forced to shut down the entire back street for this event. So they'll be back there. On down back street is where the Soundtastics will be playing. There'll be a lot going on.
I mean, all at one time. And, of course, this is just Friday. What's happening on Saturday?
Saturday, I mean, we'll keep the bouncy houses going. Peaches the Clown will be running around. We've got the West Virginia Mountaineer coming down, going to spend the day with us. That's pretty exciting. And then we've got the strongman Phil Pfister coming back by popular demand. Last year he pulled a coal truck down Main Street, and he said he wanted to come back and do it again. So he's going to do that at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. We'll be blocking, the whole town will be shut down because we've got to block Main Street off for 30 minutes at a time. But Phil will be pulling the coal truck again. And
I'm going to make sure people realize this, and I've seen Phil Pfister. I've been at events with him. He's literally pulling a coal truck.
He's pulling an 18-wheel coal truck.
Yeah. I mean, stuff that you do all the time, John.
Yeah, something I dream about.
He trained with you, from what I understand. All right, so you got that going on. What else?
Carlito will be back. He'll do a meet and greet at 3 o'clock, be signing autographs and different things like that. Wrestling again at 4. And then we've got Creek Don't Rise, a band down around Lewisburg. They come in and do a really good show. One of the things that's not on our schedule, it just kind of popped up. We had on Main Street, we had some space come available. So we put out there that anyone that has a band, local band, that wants to come and sign up, we'll let them play for an hour or so. Just to have something added to the event. Mm-hmm. And we've had several calls. So I think both nights, Friday and Saturday night, we'll have the just local bands popping in and out. We don't know what all, I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're going to be playing, but we'll take it. And then
it's cool. It's kind of like an old-fashioned jam session, basically. That's
right. They come on down and show off your talents, and it'll be a good time. And then to wrap it up right around dark, we'll let off fireworks, and we'll all be ready to shut it down. We'll be tired. I mean, I've got a very small staff there in the town of Man, but they work really hard, and I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for them. So I've got to give a shout out to the staff for these next 3 days are going to be tough and long, but it's worth it. I mean, to see the kids and the smiles on the faces, we that's what it's all about.
And you talk about the Hatfield McCoy Trail, and so I'm assuming that some of the trail riders will be taking part in all this as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, they mingle around town. They love it. Just the southern hospitality that they get from our local people. They can't believe it. We've got some of the nicest people in the world that live right here in southern West Virginia. I'm proud of that, proud to be from here. And, you come on down, bring your money. We'll welcome you. After you spend your money, go home.
Yeah. No, actually, it would be nice if some people would want to stay, I mean, because you got 700 people in the town, Mayor. You could do 705 easily.
We could do it. I mean, just on a side note, the guy opening the ATV repair shop is from Indiana. He came and rode the trails over the last couple of years, sold everything he had, moved to Man, West Virginia, and opened up a ATV repair shop. So
now that's a cool story. That's a story that everybody in West Virginia needs to hear, no matter what part of the state you're from. Guy with no ties to the area, other than I guess he rode the trails, right?
Right. He just rode the trails.
And he fell in love with the area so much that he sold everything he had, and he moved to Man in Logan County to open up an ATV repair shop.
Yes, we gained a business and we gained 2 residents, so maybe we're 702.
702 now, 702. I tell you, Mayor, I mean, I love doing these segments like this with different towns around the state of West Virginia because I think this is what West Virginia is. And I'm based in Charleston, and of course we're on in Morgantown, Martinsburg, and we love all of our cities, Wheeling, we love them all, Huntington. But I love these small towns, man, in West Virginia. I love the activities like this. And look, I'm just spotlighting you, okay, right now, but I'll guarantee you that around the state of West Virginia, there's probably 20 or more this Saturday activities that are very similar to yours going on.
That's what it's all about. I mean, we especially in southern West Virginia, our small towns, I mean, that's what makes our communities, it just, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I would not want to live anywhere else, and the hospitality down here is wonderful. And, we welcome everybody with open arms to come on down and play with us a little bit.
I thought it was very interesting that you said that area is becoming such a tourist area right now because, look, I mean, I grew up in Man, okay? I'm a Billy Cat. You know that. We moved to Logan we moved uptown to Logan when I was in 6th grade. But I will say this, I'm old enough to remember that when the mines were doing great in the 1970s and 1980s, and, I mean, if you didn't have a job, it's just because you didn't want one. And with all of the repair shops and everything that went along with it, and then, not going to get into why, but, market factors and everything else that went into it. A lot of the mines are no longer there. As you said, the town of Man now has 700 people in it. I don't know what it was at its peak, but it was a lot more than 700 at one point. But the way that the town has kind of embraced the whole tourism thing with the Hatfield-McCoy Trail, and now the trail is even like branching off into other things other than just your classic side-by-sides, ATVs and whatnot. I mean, you're doing so many other things. I think you and the people even before you are to be commended for what you've done.
We appreciate that. I mean, coal has powered the country for many years. We're going to mine coal down here as long as we can, but we have to look forward. We have to diversify a little bit. We have to take advantage of our state's beauty, and recreation's where it's at. We've got beautiful rivers, we've got beautiful mountains. Let's get these people, let's put them in the mountains, let them experience what we've experienced, our entire lives, and we sometimes take it for granted.
Yep, we do.
But when these people get here, they're just amazed of what we have. The trail system's doing really well. As I said, 93,000 trail passes last year. Looks like we're going to be up some this year. Just outside of the town of Man, up at Triadelphia, we have close to a $20 million investment going in with a new resort. So we've seen about 4 resorts pop up around Hatfield-McCoy country. That one down in McDowell County, one in Mingo County, one here in Logan County popping up right now. I think you're going to see more of that. We need it. We want it. That's how we're going to grow. Our biggest complaint from a trail rider is not enough to do when they get down here. Before when the trails opened, it was mostly just the guys because they were on ATVs. When the side-by-sides came along, it really turned into families. So you got dad, mom, and the kids coming.
Mm-hmm.
On day 3, mom and kids are going, man, we want to do something else.
I'm tired of mud. I'm tired of it.
So we feel like, this splash pad that we're putting in the town of Man, mom and the kids can go over there for a day. Dad can go out with his buddies and ride another day. That puts another person for another day in Logan County spending their money, renting a room, buying food, and it's just another piece of the pie, small piece of the pie. But we're growing and we're proud of it. So.
Well, and again, depending on what time of year it is, I mean, it's still the way it was that you have to be off the trail at dark.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
So if they come down in the fall, I mean, that's 5:15, 5:30. Yeah. They have to be off the trail, and they got to have something to do at that point. They got to have someplace to eat. They got to have stuff to do.
Yeah, and it's coming. It's coming. I mean, slowly but surely, it's growing. I mean, we've seen in the 9 counties that we're in, we've got over 1,000 miles of trail. we've probably seen, 120, 130 new businesses pop up just for the trail system. And I think in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be a tourist destination.
And I think it already is, Mayor. All right, so if you go to, I guess, the Town of Man Facebook page is probably the best place to get information on all the schedules and everything.
Yep, Town of Man, West Virginia Facebook page.
By the way, personal note here, I just got a text on my cell phone here from a fellow mayor in West Virginia that just said, "You are a fantastic mayor."
Oh, well, thank you so much, Mayor.
Well, it was Mayor Randy Barrett of Winfield, though. I don't know whether you put a lot of lot of promise into that. But anyway, I'm kidding. Randy's a good friend, as are you. Mayor John Fekete, wonderful Town of Man, West Virginia, 700 people, but you're opening up 3 businesses on Friday, man. That's the good stuff. I appreciate you being here. Good luck with the festival this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Everybody come and see us.
And go Hillbillies until they play Logan. Okay, I'm just going to say.
All right.
Thank
you, Dave.
All right, thank you. John Fekete, again, the mayor of the Town of Man. It is 2:24. I just think it's a great story. I mean, what those I could go on and on about that. So here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to take a break, or Ryan and Stephanie are going to pull the plug. We're going to do a little bit of Open Line West Virginia, and then we're going to be joined in studio by U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, more Capito. We're back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
First thing I hear when those mics go on is you just coughing, and I'm just like, this guy.
You don't appreciate me giving that show a little ratings boost?
Coughing directly onto these microphones? No, I don't want it.
Hotline on Metro News Television.
.org.
Welcome back to the show. Metro News Midday, heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WSLW in White Sulphur Springs, WKKX and WVLY in Wheeling, WEPM Martinsburg, WAJR in Morgantown, WKLP in Kaiser, WVW in Logan, WD&E in Elkins, our flagship here in Charleston, WCHS, WKMZ in Clarksburg, and WJLS in Beckley. Again, kind of changing things up a little bit. We'll get to a couple of text and phone calls on Open Line West Virginia after the bottom of the hour break. 1-800-765-TALK or text 304-TALK-304. We are going to make a little time, though, because he cared enough to come in studio, so we're going to make time for him. We're talking about U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Mark Capito. And, of course, he made news earlier this week with the Elliot Pritt, with the press event that he had after the Elliot Pritt situation. Delegate Pritt out of Fayette County, you know the story by now, has resigned from office, but is still remaining on the ballot. And we'll talk to Mark Capito about that as best what he's allowed to say at this point, which, you know, we'll just have to kind of play that by ear coming up with more Capito. But again, I will get to your phone calls and texts as best we can. 1-800-765-TALK or text 304-TALK-304. Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Ryan Nicholson, Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. My name is Dave. I'm the guy behind the microphone. We'll take a break, and we'll come right back after this. Stay with us.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Hey, welcome in. Got you your latest forecast. Primarily dry, quiet weather today and seasonable. It's later for the weekend, timing Saturday afternoon and picking up Saturday night through Sunday, ending sometime Sunday night or Monday morning. I'll be watching for rain, and there will be that potential of some heavy and excessive showers again. I'll be watching again through the second half of the weekend. Still some uncertainty and kind of complicated as I'll be monitoring two separate features, a cold front from the north and an area of low pressure that'll be likely passing southwest of us. Regardless, likely rain around Sunday I'm watching. Today we're dry, may have had to dodge some of that patchy or widespread fog this morning. Likely dry across the state today. Fly Saber forecast, it starts at home. Atlanta near 91 today. Chicago 81. New York City 77, drying out from some very heavy and some extreme rainfall. It impacted the Northeast. Some areas near and north of New York City had anywhere from 4 to 8+ inches of rain in recent days out there with some slow-moving thunderstorms. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we have highs in the upper 70s to mid-80s today, upper 50s tonight. A little on the cooler side with some patchy fog. Eastern Panhandle, low to mid-80s today. Up in the foothills and the mountains, some low 70s out there. Dry for everybody today. And lows in the 50s and low 60s dry tonight. For our central and northern areas, got 70s and 80s in here. Parkersburg near 83. Elkins near 77. Be mindful of some fog potentially in some areas again overnight. Lows in the 50s to near 60. For our southern areas, we got 70s to the southeast there. Union near 79. To the west, Huntington near 86 with sunshine expected for you today. Dry for the first half of the weekend, Saturday afternoon, chance of showers and storms, likely Sunday ending early Monday, then chances of rain and thunder middle of next week.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join
Yeah.
Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline on Metro News Television.
End child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
26 away from 3 for the best in weather. Download the Metro News television app for Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes and his team of meteorologists. Again, available on the Metro News television app. And you can also follow Brian on social media as well. Kind of giving Brian a couple of days of rest out doing the other things he's doing with the company because it's been kind of quiet and tranquil in West Virginia. And after what we've seen the last couple of weeks, we will take it. Now, Brian says that for most of West Virginia, just a slight chance of seeing some rain on maybe Saturday, but certainly more on the way for Sunday. And there's just so many activities going on. We talked to Woody Woods yesterday from our sister station here in Charleston, 107.3 The Beat, about Woody Fest that is happening on Saturday over in Institute at the Shawnee Sports Complex. And then, of course, tomorrow night here in Charleston, the final Live on the Levee for the season is being held. And there's things aplenty going on in your town as well, not to mention 3 businesses opening up in the town of Man, the town of 700 people. 3 new businesses opening up as part of the Man Street Fair tomorrow and Saturday. So get out there and enjoy the weekend because it looks pretty good, at least for Saturday. 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Let's get some text, and we'll bring in more Capito a little bit later on. Text is funny. Hoppy didn't mention the best snake oil salesman, the one that testified in front of Congress yesterday. Again, when I heard Hoppy's commentary about snake oil salesmen, equaling Donald Trump to a certain extent, I actually heard it on air. It's posted on the website if you want to go back and read it. I actually heard it as part of the morning news this morning. I thought, well, this one is going to rile up a few people, and it did. It did. But Hoppy owns it. He was on Talkline talking about it today, and he was on this show as well. If you haven't had a chance to read it, go read it at WVMetroNews.com. Text says, Trump is mostly successful. My issues with him is ending penny production, which needs restarting, and supporting daylight savings time, which needs to end with permanent standard time. More on Hoppy's commentary. Blah, 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 Z. I'll only do 2 Z's. This person did like about 20. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's what anybody with half a brain concludes after listening to the Dean Hoppy Kercheval talk about Donald Trump. He's a biased Trump hater and has been ever since he came down the escalator in 2015. I hadn't listened to anything for Kercheval for a handful of years because of his blatant biases toward the president. He's an absolute hater. While I never get those few minutes back that I wasted listening to him, I'll certainly be sure to turn the program off the next time he is to speak. And that certainly is your right. Text says, working on some new campaign signs and T-shirts. Fauci for prison 2026 has a nice ring to it. Well, it's America. You can do what you want. Text, happy favorite paperback book day, says the texter. Well, same to you, to those that celebrate. 100%. Poor Hoppy still obsessed with Trump. Let it go, sir, says a texter. Text, Fauci saved how many lives during COVID? He's a hero to millions. Text, Hoppy should have apologized to his listeners for insulting and berating anytime they would even question Dr. Fauci. Text, wait, Man has Mexican people? Well, they're opening up the restaurant there, and I happen to know a little bit about them. They own another restaurant in another county. So, yeah, I just did. I thought every town in West Virginia had a Mexican restaurant, but man did not. Now they do. Texas Mayor Fekete is awesome. What an incredible story about small town West Virginia. 3 businesses in 1 week is incredible. We're going to pause with Open Line West Virginia for just a bit. Take a break. When we come back, more Capito's here. Stay with us.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Morning, TJ Meadows.
Good morning, sir. It's yet another beautiful day to be in pursuit of happiness, is it not?
I like the optimism. Let's see if we can take care of that by the end of the show today, shall we? Any thoughts, Mr. Meadows?
Talk Line, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
At Daniels Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniels is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniels.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're going to do public math, so it's 31 divided by 4.
Yeah, just under 8 per win.
Just mark it down.
Put Tony and I down for 8, Coach Hunter. Put us on the prediction show for 8. We already got it. There's the math. Just go.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
Foundation.
Welcome back to the show. 19 away from 3. As I said, we're doing something a little bit different today on Metro News Midday, and that is we're allowing a little bit of time for our U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Moore Capito, who's in studio with us. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Dave. Good being with you.
Thank you for being here. All right, so this week you held a press conference. This has been a busy week with this whole Elliot Pritt thing. The delegate, we're still waiting, former delegate now, but still on the ballot, and we're still waiting for the Elections Commission to meet, and that's not really your purview. But what was the purpose of the press conference the other day? What was said?
Well, I think it's always good to keep the public informed on what is going on. I actually want to thank the press for the coverage on this particular matter. As traumatic and I think, sort of troubling as it all may be, I think it shines a light and brings into focus an issue that we deal with in our office every single day. It raises awareness of how important education is. Our press conference was, of course, primarily to deliver the facts to the public and let them know what the posture of the proceedings was at that current time. But I think we view it always as an educational opportunity to talk about, what's the best way to, approach our children. How do we know what's going on in their lives? Because, as I've always said, my number one goal as the United States Attorney is to make sure that we're keeping our children safe.
Well, and we can kind of couple this in a way. By the way, we do want to say that he's, everybody's innocent till proven guilty. We completely understand that, but it is a great, as they say, teachable moment. And this week, the Education Alliance held their annual event in Charleston, and a gentleman that I have gotten to know here from the Kanawha Valley by the name of Adam Tate, and I interviewed him on the local show. I've interviewed him several times. His son was a victim of sextortion. And I mean, in a 3-hour span, he met someone online. They exchanged pictures, compromising photos, and then the person on the other end, or the whatever it was, they did say that it was from out of the country. Then tried to extort him for money. The young man took his own life. And his father, Adam, has made it his life's mission now to go around and to educate people about this. And the reason I'm kind of tying these two things together is, as you said, more, it's about education and what parents and grandparents need to know when it comes to any sort of online activities.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think, first and foremost, as as this story has been covered, and again, as you said it, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And as you've covered it, we can't wish technology away. It's not going anywhere. And I think for the first time probably in, maybe even history, where parents don't necessarily understand what their children are doing. And I say that to mean, if they're on an application or playing a game, you don't even have the technological skills to even do what your child or even young child is doing. So we always encourage parents to understand what it is that your children are doing, understand those interactions, because at the end of the day, we're only going to be able to get information from our children if we can comprehend what they're telling us. Yeah. And I know that sounds sort of like an odd thing to say, but...
Well, that's the first time, over the last few years, not to interrupt you, but this is the way, in the history of probably civilization, I don't know that it's been there's been many instances when the young people know more than the older people do, and the younger people have to, you want to have something done. I don't have kids, but if you want to have something done on a phone or a computer or whatever, go find a 12 or 13-year-old and show you how to do it.
You're exactly right. And sometimes the conversation starts with not, who are you talking to? What in the hell is this, and how does it work? Yeah. First of all, and going from there. But again, we talk about technology and how quickly it is advancing. There's no question. You cite the tragic example that you just did, how quickly these things can happen. Because of how connected we all are. There's no question that we need to have the best hygiene that we can when it comes to our online presence, making sure that, as we discussed, I think a month or so ago when we were talking about elder fraud, making sure that your personal identification information is kept very, close to and safe. But when you talk about, kids going on and being exposed to everybody in the world, and what we really try to amplify, and what we're trying to amplify in light of this, is that when you're taking, that educational approach, which is the best prevention in this case, is education, we need to really shift our mindset from being reactionary to being proactive at these things. And that means having those age-appropriate conversations with your children about boundaries. When they're uncomfortable, say something to a parent, and be sure that your child is always comfortable with talking to you about what's going on. But, of course, hygiene and being proactive about these things is the way to get ahead of it and assure that we, limit these child crimes that are so horrible. But I do want to take the opportunity really quick to say how great of a job Sheriff McMullen did and is doing in Fayette County, and also David Pack. I mean, those cases don't make their way to the United States Attorney's Office unless we have good partnerships and relationships with our local officials. Of course, Homeland Security Investigations does a tremendous job when it comes to these difficult fact patterns to wrestle with. But and also in our office, Jennifer Harold is as good as it gets. She dedicates her life to making sure that children are safe. So we always want to hear that information, and we encourage, any time that there's an event like this, and this is high profile for other reasons, but it's really an opportunity for the public to reset and be aware of the dangers that go on out there.
And this sort of thing, again, because the accusations, and we want to keep putting that out there, the accusations do involve an elected official. But there's a lot of these that involve a coach, that involve a guy, whomever in a church or whomever it is. It's not always somebody that is well known, and then and we want to make sure that gets put out there as well.
100%. And the thing with crimes against children and these groomers that are out there, there's no really indication of someone doesn't necessarily look like a groomer, and we only sort of find it out when, again, there are sort of odd signs. And I've read a little bit about where we talk about vulnerable populations and how they may be more susceptible. Look, this is a need-blind criminal world that these folks are active in. So this can happen to the wealthiest, most privileged child in the world just as easily as it could happen to the most needy. And the reason for that is because the perpetrators of these sorts of crimes are highly sophisticated, and they know the technological applications to make their way the smallest little step, foot in the door with a child, and they'll take their time and move slowly. It's sick to think about, but that's why we need to have this conversation. That's why we need to continue to have this conversation, and that's why we will in our office not only continue to pursue it, but to educate about it.
And if you don't know Adam Tate, the father that I was talking about, you probably need to have a conversation with him at some point, because he, as I said, ever since this tragically happened to his son, it's not even been a year yet. He doesn't back down from me. And since he started this foundation, he's had, countless people in West Virginia that have reached out to him to say, hey, this same thing happened to my son. This same thing happened to my daughter. Are you at liberty to discuss anything as it relates particularly to the Pritt case, as to where we are now? I mean, are you at liberty to discuss anything at this point?
Well, I'm not gonna comment on the ongoing investigation. Okay. Of course, the next step in the process is to present an indictment to the grand jury. The investigation continues. I think one thing that's really critical to keep in mind is we're talking about children here, and so the privacy that we should be providing for this child and this family, it's not only morally right. It's also something that I think reverberates throughout the community. If there are other victims that may or may not be associated with this particular incident, or victims that are part of another incident, it makes them feel more comfortable coming forward and talking to us about this, because it's already a difficult process, and certainly not one you want to live in the public.
Well, yeah, and that's a very good point. And again, we're talking to Mark Capito, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District. That's an excellent point, is that we do, in this society that we live in right now, we kind of get caught up in the shiny object, whatever, but we do have a tendency to forget we're still talking about a child here. I mean, we are talking about, under the eyes of the law, we're still talking about a child here.
These are children.
And that needs to be first and foremost in everybody's mind. What else is keeping you busy these days?
Well, I also do want to, on the Tates, I want to applaud the bravery that it takes to talk about these difficult subjects, and I think that goes to the educational component. But what else is going on? I mean, we are on the road every single day. I just actually pulled into your parking lot. I know we were talking before I got here. Was just in Raleigh County. We were down at FCI Beckley, visiting with the folks there. Of course, challenges with our correction. We have 3 federal corrections institutions in the Southern District. I spend, as you know, Dave, I spend a lot of time on the road. I'm a firm believer that, the best results come from good relationships. Luckily in West Virginia, I think we all got the same goal, and that's to make West Virginia the best place to live, work, and raise a family. But, how do we do that? And I think one of the key components is having safe communities. And so that's what we're out there talking about. I think oftentimes the U.S. Attorney's Office is thought of as just a floor over in that big concrete building. But it's sort of my mission to make sure that the people in West Virginia know that we are part of the community. We want to engage with not only our advocates and our law enforcement, of course, but we want to engage with everybody in the community to help make it safe.
More Capito, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District. Appreciate you being here.
Dave, thanks for having me on. Always good to be with you.
All right, we'll take a break and we'll wrap up the show right after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Hey, I take offense of that.
Why would you do that? Because on midday, the last segment, the first thing I hear when those mics go on is you just coughing, and I'm just like, this guy.
You don't appreciate me giving that show a little ratings boost at the end, a little boom boom?
To you coughing directly onto these microphones? No, I don't want it.
I don't know where this came from.
Everybody.
I'm in another room, guys. I don't know.
Everybody.
Hey, Coop,
I'm just watching this.
Hotline on Metro News Television.
Welcome back to the show. This may be a first because, I forgot to introduce Dave Wigley. See, more Capito's just sticking around here with us for 1 second. I always have a different way I introduce Dave every day. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen, former third-string goalie for the Huntington Blizzard hockey team. It's Dave Weekly.
I love the Blizzard.
They were a big deal when I was at Marshall. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
went to a ton of Blizzard games.
Third string's better than no string.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got a mask.
This is U.S. Have you met U.S. Attorney Maura Capito from the
Again,
Southern
sure.
District? Okay.
Again, that's a
Hey,
making
sure. He was covering me when I was first string.
That's
Come
right.
on.
That's right.
There you go. All right. What you got on the show today? Because I'm going to let him possibly weigh in on your in or out.
Well,
here.
we know from a survey that half of Americans would rather inherit nothing than deal with cleaning out a relative's house. Okay, 50% would rather get nothing. So the question is, if your family had to inherit one item from your house right now, what's the one thing that would probably complain about having to haul away?
It's no question it'd be tools. I have so many tools that I've bought to do one singular thing and have never been used again, and they pile up. And as much as my wife complains about it, I'm sure that the kids would complain about it equally.
All right.
I'm guessing yours would probably be wrestling memorabilia.
No, the Cowboy stuff. All my Dallas Cowboy stuff.
Yeah, you're talking to a Redskins fan. Now we're getting in trouble.
Thanks for being here. Kidding. Go ahead.
I was going to say my record collection. That's the easiest
How many records
answer.
do you have weekly?
I don't even know. I don't even know. A lot of it's gone to the basement, which is kind of a sign that a lot of it needs to go.
Eventually, one day you're going to go to the basement. You're going to go down there, and Linda's just going to haul you out of there.
We've already got some really good responses, though.
Okay, let's be honest, though. The kids these days at least would use AI to photograph the vinyl to make sure it didn't have too much value.
That's right. That's exactly right.
All right, and what was the other question? The in or out?
The food thing was about new Tostitos, just in time for football season.
Mm-hmm. So they're introducing, what was it, Queso Blanco?
Queso Blanca, and then chunky guacamole,
All
too.
right, more Capito?
You know, I think that there's something ritualistic about, taking a chip and dipping it, so I'm out on this one.
Okay. I'm in. I'm in on any sort of snack food stuff. All right. What you got on the show today?
Well, we are talking about that. And, man, we have so much football stuff today.
Good.
So much NFL training camp stuff. And, of course, Cooper and I are going at it today because the Pirates play the Reds in the first of 4 today. So we'll be getting after it. Big weekend for the Pirates. Are they buyers or sellers? We kind of know the Reds are sellers.
Yeah.
We'll dish on that.
All right. I'll be back later. Actually, not later today. Tomorrow. Tomorrow's when I got to come back.
Friday.
See you then. Till then, have fun and love somebody.